I grew up in southwestern Virginia. Growing up in Appalachia was a challenge. I was introduced to drugs at the age of 13. I felt as if I needed some way to identify myself at that young age, and I found that being the drug user, the drug dealer, that was my identity. Things unraveled so quickly. By the time of the second semester, my 10th grade year, my mathematics teacher approached and said, Jabe, you're not going to graduate with the rest of your class. And that was kind of a shock. After high school, I didn't do so well either. I ended up going to the community college for, I think it was a year, but the drug usage didn't stop. Life continued to spiral out of control to the point to where it was totally unmanageable. My daughter was just a few months old, and the electricity had been cut off. I was sleeping on an air mattress, and all I had were candles, and I did not have my family. And I remember crying myself to sleep, and just this feeling of total hopelessness and helplessness, and that for me was the lowest moment of my life. My wife started going to church. I was clean for 4 months, and it was like Youth Sunday or something, and for some reason they trusted me enough to be the speaker that day. And in that moment, when I stepped into the pulpit for the first time, I still felt as if something that had been missing was starting to show up. Who in the world would ever think that God could use someone like me? And so it wasn't long after that I started the long road to trying to be ordained in the United Methodist Church. When I was appointed to Faison, it was a God thing. From the moment that we arrived here, it felt like home. I think that one of the mistakes that we sometimes make in ministry, especially those of us who get appointed or called to ministry in rural places, is that we get there and it's never home. And so that's what I love the most about Faison, is that it's my home. You know, these are my people, and I'm their pastor. But I'm not just the pastor of the church, I'm the pastor of the community. And so that means volunteering at the fire department. It means being present at football games. It means eating in town. For me, I choose not to keep traditional office hours or traditional office space. My truck is my office. It goes from soccer field to fire department to Park Circle to the local eateries. It lends way to the church also being able to embrace this idea that there's more to be in the body of Christ than just worship on Sunday morning. For what that looks like for us today is programs, partnerships, ministries, engagements such as the Abundance Summer Food Program, the Stewart Precise Soccer Complex, the New Life Thrift Shop, a mentoring program for children at the elementary school.
We have in town what we call a ministerial association, and we do some activities, churches all together. I think we share the same passion. We know, we are certain that God can impact and transform lives. So He has some, and I do have some, my church has some, and His church has some gifts as well. So that's how we get it together, and it's so blessed, it's so nice.
A pastor can spark change in a community. A pastor can be a catalyst for change. But the first thing that the pastor must do is have a love and appreciation for that community and the people in that community. I'm not sure why I'm sitting here and not in the grave, but I believe that God has brought me a pretty long ways away from where I was to where I am today. And I realize that although I am broken, that God is still capable of using broken people such as me to be able to do some pretty cool things.